name is Peter Mugeni. I'm the Managing Director of HFC. HFC is the banking subsidiary of HF Group. Within the group, we have got 4 entities, the property development arm, the banking subsidiary, the bank assurance, and a foundation. And so I take care of the bank. The bank is a full service bank offering services across personal banking, SME and commercial banking, institutional banking, diaspora banking. We also offer treasury and trade finance. Partnership with ATIDI started 2023, although we've been engaging over a period of time. But the first transaction we've done is very important to us from a cash flow management perspective, from a collateralization perspective, insurance, and also from the fact that ATIDI being a tier 1 rated insurance company helps us reduce our risk-weighted assets on the book when we do the lending proposition. So we do value that partnership. We had a transaction for a client that does in the export business, and ordinarily we would require that if they are coming to borrow from us, we require full collateral. Collateral being landed collateral or cash or guarantees. In this instance, ATIDI was able to provide trade credit insurance, which for us is, we call it a credit enhancement. And the sum involved about just north of $700,000 in 3 transactions, which for the client was quite useful because it enables them to do the transaction without necessarily having to place the collateral on the table. If you think about Kenya as a country that is priding itself in probably the fresh produce export market, we are looking at developing that fully. We are looking at supporting a lot more customers in that space. So this being a use case is very important. Also, the whole value chain that that particular customer deals in impacts so many people, including the farmer, the aggregator, they themselves. They also employ people, the whole value chain. So for us, that's an impact. And for us also, in terms of what I said, when we talk about reduction on capital, it means that we're able to deploy that capital to another transaction that would otherwise not be done. Like I mentioned, we are a full service bank, and trade finance is one of the key focus areas for us. So as we go and develop more and more propositions and we get more clients on board, this enables us to book off a small capital base, a large number of transactions, but it also enables us to support our SME clients in terms of their growth opportunities. A lot of them are inhibited by their balance sheet size, so this allows us to lend other than just the balance sheet size. And collateral obviously is an issue. We see it also helping us with our women banking proposition. A lot of women do not necessarily have collateral in the traditional sense. Actually, recent research shows that women in general own about 20 to 30% go collateral compared to men who are in the 70-80% range. So by this partnership, it enables us to actually do promote that in a big way. So we are looking at a limit that enables us to offer portfolio risk guarantee. So this was transaction-based, but if we are able to get a large portion of our portfolio to be covered by ATIDI, then we are able to set aside that particular book from a risk share perspective and then book even more transactions. I'm also interested in that development insurance portion. Like I did indicate, we do have a development arm of the group, and we work very collaboratively. So as we unpack more around that area, there could be more space for collaboration as well. For me, ATIDI is about risk management. I don't know whether that's one word, that's 2. But it takes away risk, and that risk transfer is a part of what we do as a bank. As you know, banks is about risk management as well. ATIDI is known to me from my previous life. In an institution that I worked in before, we were able to do large transactions, particularly, and we're also able to attract additional foreign inflows, foreign direct inflows into the country, because people were comfortable that when ATIDI has underwritten that risk, considering the fact that it's owned by sovereign, they could take sovereign risk on that country. Finally, whenever we had a claim, ATIDI paid quite on time, and that for me reinforces the confidence that ATIDI is a true partner when it comes to risk share and risk transfer.
My name is Edo Dratemo, segment head transactional banking, supporting SME customers and local corporates manage their working capital from a trade perspective, and also cash and cash payments and collections, just to ease their day-to-day activity as far as their businesses are concerned. ATIDI and ABSA have had a long relationship, first from our group office, over 10 years relationship, supporting both on the investment side and also supporting customers around the SME segments. And the relationship has really been to see how do we have financial inclusion. So ABSA worked through a partnership with ATIDI to ensure that we can be able to bring in an element of credit risk insurance that will be able to support these businesses do their business without really leveraging so much on what you can call traditional collateral methods, which are a bit difficult sometimes to obtain, and also looking at the time sometimes some of those transactions take, you'll be able to execute them in the shortest time possible. So the partnership with ATIDI is one that has really seen us grow in terms of ensuring, one, we're able to offer bespoke facilities, especially to our SMEs, our women in business, and also supporting even green transactions. And then we'll also get into some of the huge ones where we find some corporates who have received some very good transactions, either from a government perspective and turnkey projects. Then ATIDI would come in to offer the credit risk insurance to support some of those transactions. In this case, I'll even state one of transactions where a customer who had gathered a lot of knowledge in terms of electromagnetic field, and he was putting up service stations for electricity using our one of the quasi-government authorities, KenGen. And with this kind of transaction, you'd find through the experience they have, they know how to do it. By the same time, they've gotten a project which is too huge, the balance sheet would not be able to support. And in that respect, what we did is ensure that we partner with ATIDI so that they can be able to give a cover. This is a facility that was quite huge. It was almost around $12 million. And if you look at it and if you just leverage on the balance sheet, then it would have been difficult for us to really support the customer. So what we did is partner with ATIDI, and through the partnership, we were able to execute this transaction. And over time, the client has been able to do about 4 of them around the regions. And these are remote areas. We're talking about Lamu, we are talking about Kapedo, some far distances where the government is trying to reach to ensure that electricity output can be able to get to those regions. And this has been quite a fruitful partnership, both for the bank, the customer, and also for a TD perspective. Some of the projects where he was doing the employment that was able to, because he was actually employing the locals to actually support on the civil works. He was able to bring in the local communities to partner, because these are projects that are also co-owned by the local communities. They were able to provide even water, because even as they go to those projects, one of the key asks was they actually even go ahead and drill boreholes so that by the time they even leave the project, they are even leaving the communities much better off. So there was employment that was gathered, there was water, there's electricity that they're actually going to put in that community. So some of these solutions, they go a long way to really touch the heart of some of these local communities. You might, from a banking perspective, you might just see it as a customer who's doing a project, but now when you start looking at the whole picture, and of course now together with the partnership with ATIDI, you're able to do, I can say, landmark projects that would be able to really support all those communities and far-reaching areas. One of the biggest partnership I'm seeing is how we partner with ATIDI to support value chains within businesses, because you find these are customers who predominantly they've been doing business with particular ecosystems, but leveraging on their data and digital technology is something that now we are working closely with ATIDI to see how do we have that sort of information be relevant in terms of how we provide working capital to these customers and offer either payment and collection solutions. So this is one of those partnerships that we've forged with ATIDI to see how do we look at things differently. And through your partnership, then it becomes easy for us to be able to actually deploy capital into those value chains. and enablement in terms of ensuring that there's a digital footprint actually grows and from a banking ecosystem. I've talked about the women in business aspect. I mean, we are seeing a lot of growth in that aspect. Women are coming out there to enter businesses that they've not done before. And that bold move definitely will need to be supported, because traditionally some of these women do not have assets that they would actually leverage on to support them on their working capital, or a balance sheet that they would be able to say that this is something that they'll be able to do. But given the experience, their partnerships and many other support and also capability trainings that we can do to these particular segments, then we'll be able to impact the communities, the women in business, do a lot of green transactions, and also get ourselves into the value chain ecosystems to support all the businesses that are within that space. There are many ways I could describe ATIDI, but I think one that is you're a key enabler. You're an enabler. The innovation, how you're able to offer bespoke facilities is something that is quite commendable. I know you have policies in terms of how you address some of these requests, but the way you normally come out of, thinking out of the box and seeing how else can we do some of this specific transaction is really key for how we can be able to get to do business in the future. So an enabler, I would say that.
My name is Dixon Molwa. I'm the Finance and Administration Manager in Kandia Fresh Produce Suppliers Limited. Kandia started in the year 2001. We are based in Bakassi. We are exporter of fresh vegetables and fruits to European markets. We normally source our products through contracted farmers in Central and Eastern. We have been partners with ATIDI for a period of 15 years. ATIDI has helped us in giving us trade insurance. Basically, once we get a buyer, we normally notify ATIDI. In year 2013, we had gotten a buyer in Europe. This buyer had given us a good business, but as a Kanban, we wanted to be sure this is the right person to ship to or to deal in terms of business. So we did the paperwork and then we notified ATIDI. Then in terms of trading, something came amiss in terms of the client delayed some payments. So when we notified ATIDI, we realized ATIDI had already had information about the buyer was going had cash flow issues or was under liquidation. So out of that, ATIDI helped us in terms of recovering. We did fill claim forms and eventually we were paid back by ATIDI. There's an annual convention that happens in Berlin for the exporters. That's worldwide. And we realized there is actually a market in West Africa, Côte d'Ivoire, that area. So they are interested in buying our avocados from Kenya. It's only that we have not been able to lock a deal with the market for West Africa. And like in year 2018, we had a client from South Africa. So it is still possible. We will have African trading. I would say the partnership will be good because out of that we have been able to do business with a lot of confidence because we are always assured of payment, because in the event of default, ATIDI will come in handy to settle any claim maybe the client does not pay. So with that, we are able to grow our business because the risk is already covered. If we can get like the LCs because of financing, because At times we get huge business, which our business cannot sustain because of the cash flow issues, which is also a challenge. So if ATIDI can come to help us in that area, it will be a success to our business. ATIDI is a trade solution for credit insurance. Basically, that's how I would describe ATIDI.
My name is Eric Nzomo. I'm the current team leader, trade finance at NCBA Kenya. NCBA Kenya is a Tier 1 bank in Kenya, operating under NCBA Group. NCBA Group came about upon the merger of two banks. This is NIC Bank and CBA Bank. The merger completed in 2019. We operate subsidiaries across Eastern Africa, in Rwanda, Tanzania, and Uganda. And we also have a digital presence in Cote d'Ivoire. The partnership with ATIDI has been a very collaborative one. Started off one of the legacy banks in 2013, with the other bank joining shortly after. So ATIDI has really assisted NCBA in terms of leveraging on the solutions that they have and which have assisted NCBA to advance facilities to a wide variety of customers. With the innovative solutions that ATIDI has offered NCBA, this has enabled NCBA to look at facilities which ideally will not have qualified in terms of lending or intermediation when we put them on the normal credit risk metrics. But the solutions from ATIDI has really assisted NCBA to upscale its lending to this cadre of customers, where we've been able to advance facilities using the risk mitigation tools that ATIDI has been able to offer NCBA. A wide variety of solutions have been advanced by the bank by utilizing the risk mitigation tools that ATIDI has offered. Majorly, the bank has focused on trade finance facilities that facilitate trade in country and also within Africa, and we've been able to issue letters of credit, bonds and guarantees, invoice discounting facilities, factoring facilities. These are majorly short-term working facilities that have enabled trade to thrive within the region. So the bank has deployed these solutions, and these solutions have managed the bank to de-risk and offer flexible and a wide variety of short-term working capital solutions to our customers. Upon the merger of the two legacy banks, the bank currently enjoys close to Kenya shilling $1 billion worth of policy cover from ATIDI. Through the years, this has enabled a throughput of transactions in excess of 6 billion Kenya shillings, and I'm sure I'm pretty conservative with that figure. We've been able to advance facilities to more than 1,000 customers throughout the years that ATIDI has been with us, and this has greatly impacted especially some sectors which have not been at the forefront in terms of lending by the larger commercial banks. So these are the SME space, commercial banking customers who probably have a shortfall in collateral, and even corporate customers who have one-off transactions that do not fit in with their collateral structure. So this solution from ATIDI has allowed financial intermediation to that extent. We are very excited to continue working with ATIDI. I'm sure with the current business environment changing, ATIDI is also continuing to innovate and offer solutions that are well suited to the market. So that is our call to the organization to continue thinking outside the box to ensure that the banks are able to offer solutions to customers depending on the current the current business situation. In terms of the other areas I see us focusing on, we are very excited with the portfolio cover that we are currently working on with ATIDI, which will allow us to increase our lending to the SME space. And also in terms of sustainability, which is a big thing at NCBA, we've just launched our sustainability initiatives, and we know ATIDI is also at the forefront in terms of assisting financial institutions to actualize their sustainability initiatives. So we are very keen in partnering in that front in the next year. Innovation is a key thing, especially in the unbanked space where the SME population is quite huge, a key driver in Kenya and the region. So we are really looking forward to see probably what ATIDI is doing in terms of delivering solutions which will address this type of customers, which will also allow the bank to be able to on-lend solutions that are able to cater to the specific needs of this sector. The portfolio cover that we are eagerly waiting for will cater for some part of that SME space, but we are also looking forward to see what other type of insurance solutions that can be rolled out. In one word, I'd call ATIDI supportive. They've supported the financial sector for a very long time. They are very dependable, and they've always come to the table when we've come to seek solutions that are out of the box. So for me, ATIDI has been very supportive.